How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. And there were roughly 20 baseball games that were licensed officially by Nintendo for release on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Today we're going to talk about the only one published by Data East. This might be cool because Data East did some good stuff, but Data East also did some terrible stuff. And today's game was developed by Beam Software. I'm sorry. This game is also notable because it features a two-sport athlete as its cover star. And one of the 3 stars of the Saturday morning cartoon Pro Stars. One of the 2 that showed up, actually, because we all know Michael Jordan, he recorded something, but Michael Jordan wasn't there. We know that. This game was released in 1991, and they made some choices here. Some of them were kind of cool, a lot of them not so much. Today, we're going to take a look at Bo Jackson Baseball. Now, Bo Jackson Baseball is interesting because it decidedly tries something different with pitching and batting controls, as well as the perspective by which you pitch and by which you bat. Fielding looks standard. It doesn't control standard though. It kind of controls terribly. But pitching, in a one-player game at least, pitching takes on a first-person camera view with directions on the control pad kind of dictating what type of pitch you'll do. Kind of takes the same thing with batting, except instead of it being first person, it's kind of a zoomed in view version of the view that a lot of baseball games take. And so, yeah, your sprites are really big in one-player games at points. But it's trying too much for the NES for players of the NES to really wrap their arms around it. It's a pretty game as far as baseball games go. The problem is that batting feels kind of cumbersome, and fielding for a player, a human player, is a bit of a chore, more so than it ought to be. And yeah, it kind of sucks. I want to like Bo Jackson Baseball. But as good as Bo Jackson is in, say, the Tecmo Bowl games, that's how mediocre this game overall handles. And that is a really sad thing for a game that actually features every major league city, but doesn't have a league license nor a player association license. So if Bo is in this game on the Kansas City roster, I don't remember. If he is, he's the only real person in this game. Though there are like some spoof names for different players. Like I want to say there's a spoof name for Cal Ripken Jr. But I don't remember exactly, and I'm not about to sit here and try to make sense of it all. I'll just say that this is a good effort, and fans of baseball should try it at least once, especially if you have an NES. But this is by far not one of the best baseball games on the console. Far from it, actually. It is better than Roger Clemens Baseball, though. Much better than that. Now, if you decide you want to get a copy of Bo Jackson Baseball, prices range from like $2 for a loose cart to about $15 for a loose cart. So prices can vary based on what, who's selling it, what condition it's in, stuff like that. I want to say you can probably, if you really hard up for a complete copy for some reason, you can get a copy for about somewhere between 30 and 50 bucks. You can get a complete copy. It's not a pricey game. Actually, quite the opposite. And yeah, it's not a bad buy for a great experiment in sports gaming on the NES. Because this game did some cool stuff. Some stuff that actually happened in other games later on down the line. It's just that it was doing way too much for two action buttons and a 4-direction joypad. But, do what you do. I got nothing. This has been the 8-Bit Animal. I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a game that didn't get released.